The NCAA Women's College Cup is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up.
Welcome back to Torero Stadium in San Diego. Our first national semifinal at the 2012 Women's College Cup. It's Penn State, Florida State. Mark Krikorian is the head coach for the Seminoles at 20-3 on the year, his 8th season. His 5th trip to the College Cup, 6th overall for this Seminole program. And one of his former assistant coaches, Erica Walsh, is now in her 6th season on the Penn State sideline. It is the 4th trip to the College Cup for the Nittany Lions, their first since 2005. And let's send it down now for a report on the field from Kat Whitehill.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting matchup between the two coaches. Erica Walsh was actually the first assistant coach under Mark Krikorian. So they talk about how great their relationship is, and Erica says that he is the biggest mentor for her, and that if it wasn't for him and the coaching, then she wouldn't be where she was today. And for Mark, he was one of the first people to call her up as they beat Duke, knowing they would face each other, but he wanted to congratulate her. They consider each other family. They play similar playing styles, so it'll definitely be interesting tonight.
Different philosophies, a different feel, or excuse me, similar philosophies, similar feel for the game. It's a warm night, 64 degrees, but obviously on the wet side. It's been raining here for much of the afternoon and right up until kickoff and into this match. The winner moving on to the finals on Sunday, and it's Florida State in all white, Penn State in all blue. Both of these teams seeking their first national championship. And so much familiarity on the coaching staff, in goal.
And they both, as you said, Beth, so eloquently, love to play aesthetically.
Aesthetically pleasing.
And so it's always, I find, curious to see how teams react when it's raining like this. Especially San Diego, you think sun, everyone always wants to come out here. So they were thinking nice conditions, and now they have this wet, slippery field.
The field appears to be in decent shape for the most part, with the possibility of some mud right in front of goal, of all places, the last place you'd like to see it if you're in the goalkeeper's shoes. And that could play a role here this evening. Along the back line for Florida State, one of the things we will track early here is whether or not experience plays in the Seminoles' favor, Julie. 10 of the 11 starters were here playing in the semis a year ago. It's the first time for most of these Nittany Lions, and right across the face of the goal, and a corner kick coming up for the Seminoles.
And what a good early look for Florida State, thanks to Jamia Fields on that right flank. And she's going to be busy all night. She wants to get down that flank, whip it across in that rain, hope it can take some type of even deflection in that.
And a collision in goal. That was Dagny Brynja's daughter, who collided with McNulty, who seems to be able to shake it off. The senior from Canada between the pipes tonight. Tiana Brockway with the corner kick. Played back to Enos Jarino, looking far post. Up to get a head on it was Brynja's daughter, and out, but ricocheting off of the Penn State defender, and quickly another corner.
How about that for a welcome from McNulty from her old teammates? Happy to see you. Let me push you into the goal mouth.
Another set piece here for Brockway, the senior out of Tacoma. Cleared out of the area by Penn State. Regular season champions of the ACC, far away the best conference in the country again this season. Jamia Fields tried to spin that one in. And had a goal kick coming up from McNulty, the champions out of the Big Ten Conference, who, interestingly enough, are 3-0 against ACC opponents this year, including a couple of wins already in the NCAA tournament. They eliminated Duke, a team that was here in the semis a year ago, and they did that in the quarters in their last game. Jarina tried to come up. Emily Hurd playing it in front Weber trying to bring it down. It will scoot all the way through to Schramm. And Schramm plays it over the top. Taylor, the junior, out of Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania.
And Penn State's going to try consistently to try and catch them out on the flanks, catch Florida State out, because Florida State, you're seeing early on already really aggressive with their outside backs. They play in that 4-5-1 system. And Mark Krikorian loves to be high with his outside backs, aggressive, attacking. But the problem with that is if you're not possessing the ball and you lose the ball, then you can get caught in the counterattack in those flanks.
That was something that the Nittany Lions were going to look for here tonight. Casey Short, one of those backs, number 3 in all white, that likes to make the run, and she is marking up Maya Hayes, one of the most dangerous attacking personalities here at the College Cup. The Big Ten forward of the year, spent some time with the U20 national team. And a group of players that missed about the first month or so of the season. Each of the 4 teams here in the semis have had a player miss time with the U20s. Here is Tiffany McCarty with a touch. Instantly right on her is Corey Chapek, and played out to FSU.
And there's Maddie Evans sliding over in midfield as well for Penn State. They talk so much at Penn State about the engine she has. She just covers so much ground in midfield, and there she's tracking to the sideline to make that tackle.
It's been an extraordinary turnaround this season for Penn State, and a lot of it a direct result of the improved play of their senior, number 10 in blue, Christine Nairn, who recommitted herself, in particular on the fitness side. Spent much of the offseason not in cleats but in sneakers, doing a lot of running. Said she not only wanted to be a better player but a better leader for this Penn State team, and the rest of the Nittany Lions have followed Nairn's lead. And Erica Walsh was very transparent about, it's been a tumultuous relationship because she hasn't embraced that fitness, and sometimes players, they take a while to buy into that. And finally, she said in this offseason, I said, if I'm going to be the player I think I can be, and I know other players think I can be, I need to step it up fitness-wise. And that's been the difference, because she's always had the raw talent and the skills and all of those other pieces of the puzzle. Here is Nairn, ball at her feet, looking for Hayes. They've been a lethal link-up in the postseason. Now Brynja's daughter, out of Iceland, one of 8 internationals wearing the white jerseys of the Seminoles here this evening. Mark Krikorian and his staff have always recruited well internationally. Penn State changes field and then turns it over. With players from Australia, England, France, Germany, Iceland, Japan on the roster. Again, into the area and out to make the play is Weiss, but the offside flag was up. And after weathering that first 5 minutes that Florida State came out strong, Penn State starting to turn it around. You're seeing their midfield putting pressure on the ball early to win balls back defensively. Rodriguez in the middle for them, threading balls. Couple of shots now for both sides. Brynja's daughter working with Fields, also Price and McCarty up top. Played back to Brynja's daughter at the edge of the box. Brockway back to Jurina as they patiently build. Fields, and the third corner kick already for Florida State in a driving rain here in San Diego, the first of our 2 national semis. It's going to be Brockway again. They've got decent size in Brynja's daughter, number 7, and Grubka, number 13, their 2 main targets. McNulty able to punch it out. And Hurd will just play it forward into space so that the Nittany Lions can regroup. This is Hurd again working that flank and ricocheting out of bounds off of Hayes. who was looking for the ball to the inside foot.
And if Florida State plays it right on the flanks with Fields pressing and then Jarena behind her, you're going to have a busy, busy night for Corey Chapek. She is going to be feeling the heat from the flanks.
Some high pressure from Penn State. One thing that both teams, their defenders, when we talked to them yesterday, said, you know, we're used to dealing with speed with Hayes or McCarty in practice every day. They don't think that the speed will be anything new. Whether or not they can control it, a different matter. In midfield, Maddie Evans looking to play it out wide. There you get a good look of the three defenders, the three-back shape here for Penn State. Something totally new for them this season, as they lost both of their central defenders to injury before the season even started. And it's a new look that's worked out all right.
How about that? Your two center backs that have been your 4-year starters, one of them your captain, and all of a sudden you're thrown. And she says, I didn't even have another center back, Erica Walsh said. I had to pull back Winston Church, who's a holding midfielder. She was my starting holding midfielder. She's only a sophomore, so she's playing in the center back position for Penn State and has just led that back line. She said if she is not in a World Cup in the near future, I would be shocked. She's so impressed with her.
Coach speak, and the ricochet, McCarty giving a run at it, and McNulty out to scoop it up. Down to Catherine White, who's right next to the Penn State bench.
Yeah, you were talking about that three-back system. I actually heard Coach Erica Walsh from Penn State talking to Corey Chapek saying you're being too conservative. You have to get out to number 4, Jamia Fields, a lot faster. And that's what Florida State has been exploiting this whole game so far. So watch out for that matchup.
Thank you very much, Kat. And now it's the Nittany Lions that win the corner, and the thrust forward from Emily Hurd. First corner of the night for Penn State. Raquel Rodriguez, the freshman from Costa Rica, over to take it.
You can see there on that backside, Christine Nair, number 10 for Penn State. She'll want to get a piece on this one.
Redirected across the frame. Florida State should have the size advantage on those set pieces, but it looked like that was Whitney Church who was able to get up and get a piece of it. As Kelsey Weiss will clear it out, the junior from Coral Springs, Florida. 23-0. They've tied the school record for most wins. A win here today would get them to 21, and they have been led by Tiffany McCarty with those 16 goals. 6 of those coming in this NCAA tournament, and there she is up top, number 14 in the all-white jersey.
And the thing about Tiffany McCarty is she just stretches defenses with her speed. She's so fast, they have to respect that. What they do is they end up dropping, creating more space for her midfield to play make.
Good pressure from Penn State. Trying to work that back line for the Seminoles. That'll get them a throw in for Hurd on the near side. Quickly back in play. And taken down by Fields, and outside the area here, the free kick coming up for the Nittany Lions. The top scoring team in the nation this year. They're averaging almost 3 goals per game. It's going to be Rodriguez again to take the free kick.
They're going to look for Church again, the center back coming forward.
And in front, and off the one hop is Weiss. Kelsey in her second national semifinal, as they were all here last year, losing to Stanford 3-0. But so far in this tournament, Kelsey has pitched 3 shutouts in 4 games. And all the way down to her counterpart, Erin McNulty. First of our 2 national semifinals. Florida State in all white, Penn State in all blue. Neither has won a national championship. The winner here will move on to the final on Sunday. Our second semi is North Carolina and Stanford, and a rematch of the 2009 national championship won by the Heels. Hurd couldn't maintain. The heavy rain is settled down a bit to a steady mist right now. Played into space for Hayes, watched closely by Grubka. Trying to link up the long ball to McCarty. Hayes chests it over to Nairn. Those two working so well together this year. Played into space. Right in front of the keeper, Weiss.
And I like that idea by Nairn. And you can get a glimpse of her technical ability on the ball. Everyone thinks she's going to go wide. She shifts the defense. Then she just tries to thread it with just a little bit too much pace on it.
15th minute here in our national semi. Both sides with a couple of shots thus far, and another free kick here for the Nittany Lions. Our referee today, Ian Anderson.
And with Penn State starting to win a bit more possession, what it does is it forces Florida to have to stay home. Those outside backs that want to fly forward, they've got to stay back. They've got to stay conservative. And in a conservative stance, Florida State just isn't the same team. So Penn State, even in this rain, doing a good job right now of kind of dictating that tempo.
We're starting to see, too, the ball skidding a bit, Julie, on the long balls in particular over the top. They may start to need to get a little more air underneath it in order to try and drop it down at the feet of the forwards.
Well, the good news for the players is when it rains in California, it doesn't rain like it rains in Florida.
Yeah.
You're just not going to get those big old puddles on the field that you see when it just dumps in Florida.
Weber leaves it off, trying to thread it through to Hayes. Taylor Schramm, one of those players that was at the U20 World Cup, along with Maya Hayes and Cassie Coleman, number 9 in white, the defender for Florida State. They were teammates. And when we talk about the U20 World Cup, it's not just playing over in Japan for a month or so, but it's getting together with the team really that started back in January, the commitment that they had to make.
And then to come off something as emotional as that. You win a World Cup like that, you have all the hype of doing it together, and then you come straight back in to a collegiate season that's well underway. I mean, that's a huge challenge.
Important for these women to wear the jersey of Team USA and certainly help to improve and increase their chances of possibly playing for the national team one day down the line. Off the deflection, Nairn looking for some room to operate, fires it at Weiss and through the gloves and just missed the target.
And that is going to happen all night with this rain. And the goalkeepers know it. Got to get behind that ball, but you can see Nairn trying to get something on target, knowing that it can take any type of deflection, it can slip through. Taking shots from all over the field will be a priority tonight for both teams in this rain.
Corner kick, again looking for Church, and a whistle in the box. And a push called on Penn State, and Kelsey Weiss with a major sigh of relief that that ball did not squirt through the fingertips and into the back of the net.
That rain. Where are we? I don't even know what that is. Come on, I'm a Southern California kid. It doesn't rain here. I've been complaining for how many years to bring the College Cup here? It never rains.
First time in 12 years that we've been on the West Coast for the College Cup.
Oh, man.
Mother Nature does indeed have a sense of humor.
Kind of.
It has been played a couple of times in San Jose, once in Santa Clara, but for the most part, in recent years at Cary, North Carolina, and at Texas A&M. So a lot of Stanford alums out here in particular excited that it's on the West Coast. Hayes trying to get a beat on it against Ines Jarina, the senior from France, and a 4-year starter in the back.
And Hayes, similar to what we were talking about with Tiffany McCarty on the other side, Hayes for Penn State, same explosive pace. So raw in front of goal. And then on top of that, next to her is Mallory Weber, the freshman, 13 goals on the year for Penn State as a freshman, and she's explosive as well.
Nittany Lions tried to play it back to Emily Hurd, stepping back in bounds, but she was offside. th minute here at the College Cup National Semis. By the way, this year there is no media timeout midway through the first and second half. We'll play straight through. The clock ticking down to 0. There is no added time or stoppage time in the college game.
It's a center midfielder for Florida State, and Isabella Schmidt, the German on their team. They have 8 internationals. Mark Krikorian has done such a good job of locating talent around the globe. There she is, tracking all the way back as a defensive center mid. And he's talked about how important having her healthy again and back in the lineup has helped. She sits alongside Brockway in the middle of the field, and it frees up Dagny Brynja's daughter, number 7 for Florida State, which we haven't actually seen much of tonight. What a talented player she is, from Iceland, plays on the national team of Iceland.
There is Brynja's daughter. They had a couple of shots in the first few minutes, but since then, the Nittany Lions have dominated possession. A near communication breakdown there for Penn State. Hurd able to clean it up at the last moment.
And I am imagining Mark Krikorian on the sidelines thinking, how do I get back a hold of this game? Because unless they have possession, they don't have time to spring their flank players. Unless they have possession, they don't have people supporting their one forward up top at Tiffany McCarty. And that is a lonely game up top when you don't have players shooting through for you. This system only works if you can hold the ball.
They won the regular season championship this year in the ACC. Mark, 29-7 in the NCAA tournament, has had tremendous success with the Seminoles. The only thing missing from the resume is that first national championship.
I really like number 11 for Penn State in the middle, Raquel Rodriguez, Costa Rican national team player. Very good on the ball. Every time she gets it, if it's unsettled, she's settling it. She's bringing it down. She's threading a ball. You need someone in the center of the field doing that for you.
Some of the youngsters for Penn State have done well so far on the first substitution, and it is one of note. It is Carson Pickett, the freshman from Jacksonville. You will notice the left arm of Carson, born without her arm from elbow down on that left hand, and the tattoo she's got on her right wrist. Imperfection is beauty. It has not hampered her soccer career in the least. And living out her dream, grew up in Jacksonville following the Seminoles, and now wearing the jersey at the College Cup. And what her teammates love most about her is, number 1, the confidence with which she plays is, and number 2, on that left side, she has a lethal left foot to deliver crosses into the box.
Yeah, what a player. What a player. Won state championships at St. John's when she was playing, 3 state championships, all-time leader in assists, second in goals. And she talks about it and says, you know, people want to treat me like I have a disability, when in fact, I don't see myself like that. I don't. They want to give me extra things, help me out more. And I love her attitude towards it. And I love the tattoo.
She is out on the left side in white, number 16 for the Seminoles. But you just alluded to the fact that Mark Krikorian was looking for a way to try and regain possession of the momentum in this game, and he immediately goes to the bench to bring in Pickett, who somehow managed to save that one and keep it in play. Brynja's daughter with the turn. It wasn't a clean one. And we touched on it early, Julie. Would the experience for Florida State make a difference? And thus far, the youngsters for Penn State have nullified any kind of advantage there is to experience.
Yeah, and we both commented after speaking with the Penn State players yesterday how confident and relaxed they seemed. They were having fun. I think that stems from your leadership group. I think with Christine Nairn coming in with a mentality this year that we're going to get it done. I'm going to be the best I can so the team can be the best they can be.
Hayes is number 5 right in front of goal, and she would be unable to get to that. Goes across the face of the goal. For Penn State, the 4-0 win in the first round and 5-2 over Boston College in the second. They needed PKs to knock off their Big Ten sisters from Michigan, and then the win at home at Jeffrey Field over Duke. A team that was here in the national semifinals a year ago, denied a return trip by the Nittany Lions. There were 3 ACC teams here a year ago, but it was Stanford that went home with the trophy. Florida State and North Carolina are back this year from the ACC, and here's McCarty. Heels will be taking on Stanford in our second semifinal. Short, here's one of those backs, pushing it forward, cleared out of the 6. And out of danger.
I think that's a good decision by Pickett right there. She got it on the flank. She didn't try and press it. Instead, she found an overlapping left back in case Short coming through, and they almost get something off that cross.
Well, the NCAA Women's College Cup continues with the national championship on Sunday at 4 Eastern on ESPNU. For more tournament coverage and information, log on to ncaa.com, your home for all 89 NCAA championships. Fields settles into the area, 1v1, and taken away by number 14, Corey Chapek. Weber running at Coleman. Cassie able to nudge her off the ball. Little love tap.
For a little love tap, exactly. And Weber's got some pace. You can see when she has that space and she's faced up. Excellent defending there by Coleman. Get a body on her. And great defending on the other side by Chapek because Fields had some space there to take her.
Hayes trying to run a little give and go.
And you could see the space that the right midfielder had Fields and what she had early on in the game. If Florida State can switch it quickly, in that 3-back that Penn State's playing, that opposite flank is wide open.
Here comes the run from Short from the back. Now it's Carson Pickett trying to go to work on Bree Hovington. Puts it over the touchline, throw in Knowles. Clock winds down in college soccer. 17:40 to go here in the first. Looking to go far post, McNulty's got it covered, and a goal kick for Penn State. Well, we just saw the road for the Nittany Lions. How about for Florida State? We've talked a lot about their defense, but their offense has been awfully good in the postseason. 6 goals in the first round, then the double overtime win against Texas Tech. They follow that off impressively 4-0 over A&M, and then knocked off Notre Dame 1-0 in the quarterfinals as the Fighting Irish get ready with realignment to move into the ACC. McCarty trying to redirect it. Has it under feet. Whitney Church was right there with her. Jurina chips it in front. Brynja's daughter got a head on it.
From one outside back to the other. Here's Short on one side, and McCarty, she thinks she's going to get a little window there. Excellent defending by Penn State in the end, because McCarty, she doesn't need much of a sniff in front of goal. 9 goals, as we said, in this postseason.
Whitney Church, the sophomore out of Ashburn, Virginia, or as she's known to all her teammates, Whitchurch, all one word. When we were talking to the players yesterday, the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. And her coach, Erica Walsh, loves her maturity and her focus back there. She had to rely on both to deny McCarty. Substitution, Tani Costa coming in here in the 30th minute, the junior from Honolulu. And also, Tiffany McCarty has checked out of the ball game for Florida State, replaced by Michaela Hahn, the freshman from Titusville, Florida. Substitution rules. You can be subbed out in the first half, cannot re-enter until the second half. You can be subbed out and return once in the second half of play. So it's not the end of the day for McCarty.
What I would have given for those substitution rules at the international level. Coach, can I just take a little rest?
Yeah, that's a situation that all these teams have relied on their bench play throughout the NCAA tournament.
Raquel Rodriguez standing over that ball. 10 assists. Oh, she just left. 10 assists on the year now. Nairn is going to take this.
Nairn with the left foot, ricocheting around. Lifted out of the area. Gonna go right back to Nairn. She's had the best scoring opportunity of the day thus far on the ball that went through the gloved hands, slid through Kelsey Weiss, and trickled just wide of the goal. On a rainy night here in San Diego, it appears that the rain has let up momentarily. Good high pressure from Penn State.
Both teams playing 5 in the middle, and right now, I would say with under 15 minutes left, that middle part, that middle 3 has been won by Penn State, and the flanks have been won by Florida State. And I think the challenge for Florida State, if they want to possess the ball, as we've talked about, is to get those middle 3 a little bit more engaged on the ball.
Hahn switches it over to the left side. Pickett, Brynja's at the edge of the area. Couldn't control. Dagny off the ricochet, McNulty down to get it as the keeper smothers.
And when you have the rain like this, Beth, you just shoot the ball, hit it whenever you can, because it's so slick, as you've seen with Weiss. Too much passing for my taste with the rain like this. Just crank them. You get it on frame and something's going to skip.
Let the weather help the goalkeeper make a mistake. Good run into the area for Penn State. And Taylor Schramm, now it's Weber, number 16 in blue. Good piece of defense there by Florida State and Casey Short. And the whistle going against Penn State. Short, the 5th-year senior out of Naperville, Illinois. Holding down that left side. Florida State has allowed just 13 goals all season. And a new school record for this defense, 17 shutouts, including 3 here in the NCAA tournament through the first 4 matches. a substitution coming in here for Penn State. Corey Person. Another freshman coming on. Penn State will maintain on the far side, approaching 11 minutes to go. No stoppage time added to the clock here in college soccer. Into the 35th minute. McCarty has had the one chance thus far. She has since subbed out of the game. We'll see her again in the second half. Hayes really has not yet had a golden opportunity for Penn State. Look at far post, Brinius' daughter trying to slide on. And they're shaking up Seminole out at midfield. Tiana Brockway, 93 starts in 94 games for the Seminoles. Mallory Peterson now on to replace Emily Hurd. Christine Nair, number 10 in blue. Some room to roam. A little bit ambitious on that attempt.
Yeah, because she breaks through well, and then she just doesn't recognize what her options are. I don't think that's the best option, obviously. She had space to run at that back line and make them make a decision. Then you could slip someone through.
Four trips to the College Cup for Penn State. The last three all semifinal losses. They are trying to get to the championship for the first time. Florida State has been there once back in 2007. And this their sixth trip to the semis. Played across in front, Weiss down to get it. And again, good job by the Central defense to shield Weber from the ball.
And those are the balls that are going to create so many problems, though, with this weather. You drive them across that box. It's not always going to be the prettiest. Get it wide and drive it in there.
Now to play to Penn State. Well, the rain has let up momentarily, but since it's such a mild night, it's in the mid-60s here. Now the fog's starting to roll in at Torero Stadium in San Diego, California, of all places. Beth Mowens, Julie Foudy, Catherine Whitehill, and a couple of teams trying to win their first national championship. Second semifinal coming up later tonight, Stanford and North Carolina. And I will be a soccer Switzerland, trying to keep Foudy and Whitehill separated, the Stanford grad and the Tar Heel grad.
Got a lot of talk on Twitter. What are you betting? You say I only bet donuts.
Not that we wager, no.
Right.
Only in donuts. Jamia Fields, who has moved from the right side now into the middle, replacing McCarty. And the ricochet goal kick.
His back three for Penn State doing a good job, staying balanced, keeping their spacing, which is hard to do in the three back. I think actually the four back for Florida State, which came in as the #1 ranked defense in the nation, has been a little bit jumpy tonight. They're not into their usual rhythm. You have two really dominant center backs that are put under a lot of pressure.
Jarina Hahn with a nice move into space to free herself up. Brockway. Out wide, Brynja's daughter, number 7 in white, is a good target in the area right now. Trying to locate herself along that back post. And it goes for naught for Florida State. Well, you can help us beat cancer with the V Foundation, awarding 100% of direct donations to fund cancer research. Operating expenses are all paid for by an endowment fund, so all of your donations go right to cancer research. Log on today to jimmyv.org or make that phone call, 1-800-4-JIMMY-V, to make your donation to the V Foundation. It's seeking out Brynja's daughter, but broken up there by Chapik. Now Jarina. Nice move to the left foot, and McNulty able to change course after she was leaning to the right side.
There's your attacking right back, though. I love it. In the box, taking people on. The right back from Florida State. And she did. She creates a window here. Gets a little bit unlucky because that deflection could have gone her way.
Well done by Jarina, the French international. Under 5.5 minutes now to go in this first half. 35th minute in the national semifinals. Schmid tried to run onto it. Now it's Christine Nairn. Short. Navigating her way through. Nittany Lyons, a big collision play on. Says Ian Anderson as Rodriguez is slow to get up. Another dispossession by the Florida State defense.
And that was an opportunity for Penn State. They dispossessed in their own half. It was a fullback trying to get forward for Florida State. There's a gap on that back line. Pounce on that. You can see there's only 4 minutes left. A little fatigue coming through, because that's a great opportunity to start sending numbers and take advantage of that.
Well, coming up on our ESPNU halftime report, we'll hear from both head coaches. Julie had a chance to talk with David Beckham the other day. We'll hear some of that. And we've got a preview for you. Carolina and the Cardinal in our second semifinal coming up later tonight on ESPNU. What intrigued you about that matchup coming up in our second semi, Julie?
You know, I just watch. I love watching a player like Crystal Dunn from North Carolina. Here's a player who was on the under-20 national team as an outside back. She's played center back for North Carolina. She's played outside midfield. She's played attacking center mid. She's played forward for them. I mean, she won one year. She won ACC Defensive Player of the Year, and then the next, she's Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, she's so versatile.
She wears Mia Hamm's college jersey, number 19. And Anson Dorrance is always very careful with his present team not to talk a whole lot about tradition and the success of the past. Of course, all the players know about it, but he doesn't like to apply a whole lot of extra pressure on them. But Dunn is that kind of player that welcomes the opportunity to wear the Mia jersey, and she's heard some comparisons and the opportunity for her possibly to be one of the best they've had.
And Anson says she is right there alongside Mia and Christine. Lily is one of the best players I've ever had at North Carolina.
And when we talk to the Stanford players, they won the national championship last year. They're excited for the opportunity to win another one, but they're also excited for the chance to add a win against North Carolina. Stanford has never beaten UNC in 11 previous matches. 8 losses, 3 ties. Stanford, Carolina coming up off the miscue in the box. Cleaned up by Jarina. Mallory Weber has been a big-time pest up front there for Penn State tonight.
Busy, and she's strong and fast on top of it.
She's number 16 in blue. Daughter for Florida State, out to Brockway. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the half. We'll go ahead, the back pass to Weiss. Settled by Field. She's got Daughter with her, and the pass broken up by Church.
Fields lost that ball there, but she's been excellent at holding the ball, distributing from that high target position as McCarty's been out resting for that into that first half.
Quite some time, really. Both Hayes and McCarty came out relatively early in this first half.
Yeah, I don't get that. These are young kids. They should be in there playing.
Yeah, there you go.
They got the engine to do that. Rest. They're probably thinking the same thing. I don't need a rest, coach.
Yeah, they're probably thinking, what's that old timer up in the press box talking about? Oh, sweet move by Short, trying to scoot by the defender. Final minute in this first half. No stoppage time in the college game. Seminoles trying to get one more rush forward. Daughter out to Hahn on the right flank. Coming up is Schmid, the German international, to the Icelandic international. And it drops right down and trickles back to McNulty. Tani Costa is the only Nittany Lion across midfield. As the final seconds tick away. Scoreless in this first half of our first national semifinal. Four shots apiece, the one shot on goal for Penn State. And neither side able to muster a shot in the last 11 minutes as the game got bogged down a bit in midfield.
NCAA.com/shop has all the hottest officially licensed 2012 championship merchandise. With over 100,000 items for over 500 college teams, everything you need is in one location. You'll get 365-day hassle-free returns, great customer service, and $4.99 3-day shipping on any size order. Remember, for all your college gear, head to ncaa.com/shop.
Start your Sundays with us. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 Eastern on ESPN, where fans go for football.
Feeling buried by all the piles of paper in your home or office? Maybe it's time you traded in the old filing cabinet for a new office assistant. Meet the Neat Desk Scanner and Organizer, the only scanner that actually thinks while it scans. With Neat Desk, all your important documents can be easily scanned and then organized with the NeatWorks software. So that shoebox full of receipts instantly becomes a manageable expense report. That stack of business cards can go directly into your computer's contact list. Virtually any piece of paper automatically becomes a searchable document that you can find with a simple keyword.
And here's the best part. If you call or visit us at tryneat.com right now, you can try the Neat Desk or the amazing Neat Portable Scanner for 30 days absolutely free. We'll even pay for the return postage if you decide to send it back. That's how confident we are that you'll love your Neat Organizer. So give us a call or go to tryneat.com for your 30-day free trial and say goodbye to all that paper.
It's all about research, people. We've got to stop this. Cutting-edge doctors, thinking outside of the box. being revolutionary, trying different things, knowing we have to put an end to cancer. And with the work of the V Foundation, we're going to make it happen. It's going to happen.
And you can help us beat cancer. The V Foundation awards 100% of direct donations to fund cancer research, as operating expenses are paid for by an endowment fund. So log on to jimmyv.org or call 1-800-4JIMMY-V to make your donation today. We are here in San Diego, the Women's College Cup, Penn State and Florida State, the first semifinal. Coming up later, it's North Carolina and Stanford. The winners will face off Sunday afternoon on ESPNU for the national championship. Well, Stanford and North Carolina, let's take you back to their last postseason meeting, and that was for the national championship in '09. And it was an early goal, Casey Noguera to Jessica McDonald in the 3rd minute for the Tar Heels, and that held up in a 1-0 victory for North Carolina and a 20th national championship in the 30 years of this NCAA tournament. Beth Mowins along with Julie Foudy. And Julie, those 20 titles looking awfully good for Carolina, but the most recent trophy is in the case up at Stanford, as the defending champs are back to try and make it 2 in a row.
And what's so fun to watch about these two giants of the game is you have a field laced with potential superstars that are going to play on the U.S. women's national team one day. 2 in particular that you should watch. For Stanford, Chioma Ubagagu, who is a sophomore this year, under-20 Women's World Cup champion. Her teammate on the under-20 women's national team, Crystal Dunn, plays for North Carolina, can play all 3 lines, Crystal Dunn. Right now she's playing attacking center mid, very hot, on form. So a lot of fun stars to watch and a glimpse at the future of U.S. soccer.
All right, and that is the second semifinal coming up later tonight here at Torero Stadium in San Diego. The national championship game will be coming your way on Sunday afternoon. Halftime, Florida State and Penn State. We've got more soccer coming your way soon.
Papa and Peyton have been giving away free pizza all season long.
1 million free Papa John's pizzas.
Good idea. 2 million free pizzas. I like it.
No. 1 million free Papa John's pizzas.
2 million pizzas it is. Let's do it.
You can still win. Papa John's is still giving away 120,000 free pizzas each week through the end of the season. Sign up now for Papa Rewards at papajohns.com, where a large 5-sausage pizza is just $11, or any large $1 more.
Better ingredients,
better pizza.
Papa John's.
Wait till you see what's next.
Division I student athletes have higher SAT and ACT scores than college-bound students.
The number of us receiving diplomas
is at an all-time high.
African-American males who are student athletes
are 10% more likely to graduate.
Still think we're just a bunch of dumb jocks?
You need to do your homework.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
The 2013 Rose Bowl game, presented by Vizio. Tuesday, January 1st on ESPN. The Rose Bowl lives here.
It is boxing's greatest rivalry.
One more right hand for Marquez. One more combination for Pacquiao.
3 fights, 36 rounds, no clear victor.
I'm calling it another draw.
Now, Pacquiao and Marquez will enter the ring to write the final chapter. Pacquiao-Marquez 4. Saturday, December 8th, live on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Get NBA League Pass right now from DirecTV and don't miss a minute of live NBA action. NBA League Pass delivers games on TV, online, and mobile. That's right, you get the games on all platforms. Watch live action wherever you are and see the big names who made big moves in the offseason. Get NBA League Pass now for only 4 payments of $47.99 each. To order, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or visit directv.com/NBA.
Brockway to Jessica Price, this 6th-year senior who has overcome knee injuries on 2 occasions. The '07 season that she missed, the 2010 season that she missed. number 6 in the white jersey for Florida State. And a terrific story just to be out there on the field tonight. And then another interesting twist with these two coaches so closely aligned. Price actually played for Penn State coach Erica Walsh in the U17s a couple of years ago, as did Tiffany McCarty.
Yeah, she knows both those players well. And it comes as no surprise that Erica Walsh's team is organized defensively. She was the assistant coach for the 2008 Olympic U.S. team under Pia Sundhage, assistant coach for the 2011 World Cup team. And with both of those duties, she was in charge of the back line. Great defensively. They're keeping the game condensed. They're keeping it tight, so Florida State can't hold the ball. There's always pressure on the ball when they turn.
Oh, another player that knows a thing or two about defense, Julie, is Catherine Whitehill, who in her former life as Kat Reddick played as a member of a 3-back defense, and the shot over the top. And the first good attempt of the night for Tiffany McCarty. The 3-backs have been able to keep her quiet thus far.
Nice little run off the ball to create that space. She's got it. She just wants to get it on frame with this weather. Driving it, trying to drive it low, but you can see she had the space finally. Penn State hasn't given her much space all night.
McCarty waiting. Brynja's daughter arriving behind her, taken away by Penn State. Kat, what are some of the challenges of playing that 3-back as you did in your career at North Carolina, as we see Nairn now making a push forward? And off the ricochet in front, Hayes able to finish it up for Penn State and a 1-0 lead. Weiss unable to hang on in front, and slippery conditions here tonight in San Diego. And Hayes able to pounce.
And how many times have we seen the ball go across the box in front of the goalkeeper, and there's not a forward crashing on the other side? Hayes getting in there, and most importantly recognizes, I got to get in near post to be close. So many players want to go to that back post, and they're not around the ball when it comes loose like this. Weber just trying to get something across the frame, and Hayes with the perfect positioning, because this is going to happen in this rain. Weiss is not going to be able to hold on to everything. We've seen it tonight, and a great finish from a run that was so important for Penn State.
Mallory Weber with the assist to Maya Hayes with the goal. And for Hayes, 16th of the season. And a huge one there for Penn State. And we'll bring Kat Whitehill back in to talk about that 3-back defense for Penn State. As they push forward again, Hayes looking for more. Drops it off, and Weiss able to scoop it up. Kat?
Yeah, the important parts of a 3-back, and a lot of people don't really understand it because most teams play in a 4-back now, but the key is you must stay compact. You have to communicate a ton, and you can't take a lot of risk, because if one person gets out of shape, then you're left with 2, especially when you're playing against a 3-forward system. And a lot of time in a 4-2-3-1 like Florida State is playing, they will push a lot of people high, and it turns into a 3-forward system. So that's the key. You must stay compact, and so far this Penn State team has been so disciplined at staying compact and keeping those communication lines open, and they are extremely loud back there.
Another opportunity here for the Nittany Lions. Weber.
Worth a chance, though. Mallory Weber is fun to watch.
Yeah.
She gets on that flank and she wants to take on. I like that. I love that instinct. You don't see that enough in younger players. I think a couple times Maya Hayes, I've been saying out loud, go, go, you know? And you see that in Weber. It's a little bit more instinctive.
Weber, the freshman out of Michigan. Number 16 in blue up top. You see a little more pep in the step now, the Penn State players. And a 1-0 lead. They keep their shape with Nairn up top.
Touching on what Kat was talking about, though, Corey Chapek yesterday sitting down with the outside back in this 3-back for Penn State. She said, you know, the hardest change for us, since we weren't used to playing it, we had played in a 4-back, was exactly what Kat talked about, is staying home, not attacking. With a 3-back, you want to go and you just can't.
Schramm Hayes has some space, and with good reason. She was offside. Chapek, Church, and Hovington, the 3 in the back. Out of necessity this year due to some injuries prior to the first game of the season for Penn State. And they have done more than hold their own throughout the year, and so far tonight.
The benefit, though, of going to that 3-back is those front 7 now have the freedom to go, because those 3 are going to stay if they stay organized enough and you hold the ball. Jessica Price, known for her long throwing for Florida State. Lots of assists off it. Not tonight. Had a tough time holding on to that ball in this wet weather.
McCarty. 1v3 for McCarty, waiting for Brinia's daughter to arrive, and McCarty switching over to the left. Has some time, dropping it off for Fields, looking to tee it up on the left side. Save McNulty. First shot on goal of the night for Florida State.
Fields just trying to get a little bit of a window, and boy, she hits that one well. What a good save by McNulty to cover all the way to her right.
Boy, you got the feeling, Julie, when we first started talking about this story at the beginning of the night. Erin McNulty in goal for Penn State. Started out her career at Florida State, played in the College Cup. You were wondering what kind of thoughts were going through her mind. She was not made available to the media yesterday. We did not have a chance, even though we requested to talk to her. They wanted her to stay focused on the game at hand here tonight. Would she be called upon to make a huge save that might knock her former teammates out? And she had a nice one there. Here's Hayes. As the rain now has started to fall harder here in San Diego. And the one goal getting in after Kelsey Weiss was unable to hang on to a slippery soccer ball, and Maya Hayes pounced on the ricochet and put it into the back of the net.
And on that Fields ball that she got was McCarty trying to beat a couple players, and she still has time on the ball. And a player like McCarty, a senior with the experience she has, with the goal-scoring tendency she has, you want them to take over a game. I want her in that box to take on, create a window, and try something.
Nairn spinning it in to Weiss, who handles it.
I mean, these will be the moments in the next 25 minutes where your stars need to step up.
Can Florida State do it with the senior leadership of Tiffany McCarty, their all-time leading scorer, #1 in points? Fields on the run. McNulty off her line to snare it. '63rd minute. Penn State inching closer to its first trip to the championship game. We talked to Christine Nairn yesterday. She said, you know, we knew we were going to be good, but it's still a pleasant surprise to be here. We've been frustrated and disappointed through the first 3 years. We didn't think we played up to our standard in the postseason, and finally breaking through to get to the College Cup this year. And now if their defense can hold the line, the trip to the final will be theirs. Here we go again with Weber and Hayes. Emily Hurd's got it to Christine Nairn. Cross knocked down by Jarena. Rodriguez. She'll let one fly. Blisters one over the bar.
And that center three for Penn State has been impressive tonight. Rodriguez really so settling on the ball, and you can see she can also rip one from distance as well. Players talked about her yesterday, just having this wonderful touch on the ball. Great service.
That's Christine Nairn yelling to her teammates, go. And we talked to Erica Walsh. We've mentioned the transformation that has come over Christine Nairn this year, and you mentioned the three in the middle. Walsh said sometimes players want somebody to follow, and literally in the middle of the field, it's Nairn above a couple of freshmen, Rodriguez and Weber, and we've been calling their names a ton tonight as they have followed Nairn's lead.
And it's interesting too, because when you think about the absence of Amaya Hayes to the Under-20 World Cup, they lost Taylor Schramm as well.
Fields with McCarty trying to make a move, and the one hopper right into the chest of McNulty.
And when those players are gone for 6-7 games at the start of your season, it gives a player like Christy Nairn the opportunity to step up. And what a game Fields is having. She just loves to go at players. And that's just a bit unlucky because she's right at the keeper. But I like that she's looking for that.
Well, I was interested to hear you and Kat talking, even on the national team, and the confidence and the leadership capabilities that all of you guys had just to make that squad, and yet still as a group, you want that leadership from your coach and your team captain in that kind of direction as well.
Yeah, you want to be decisive. You want, you know, and I think with Nairn, with those players and the stars gone with the U20 World Cup, she had to be the decisive leader.
Tani Costa has come in for Penn State. You can re-enter in the second half one time. And a 1-0 lead for Penn State. Maya Hayes in the 57th minute, assisted by Weber.
I'm sure there are players who I played with who would have said, you were far too decisive.
A boot in the backside is what they wanted to give you?
Yeah, as my veins were popping out of my neck telling them what to do. Maybe not quite that decisive.
We're going to see some pretty decisive players in our second semifinal too, with defending champion Stanford and 20-time champ North Carolina. That's the second semi coming up tonight. Winners to play on Sunday afternoon for the national championship. Penn State with 9 shots already today. That's already more than Florida State usually allows for the full 90 minutes. Giving up just their 14th goal of the season here tonight. And the top defense in the country has been scored upon. Down goes a Seminole. And that's Jamia Fields.
And the rain, even though it's kind of misty, it's still persisting. So it's wet still. Here's a great opportunity for Florida State, even if it's an ugly one. That second ball jumping out of this.
Kiana Brockway to take the free kick. A target-rich environment at the edge of the box. Looking for the head of Grubka. And they save the corner kick, a throw in here, and a very good throw-in weapon here in Jessica Price. On a good night can throw this one into the box.
And she'll be targeting that number 13 Grubka right at the 6-yard box. There she is, trying to flick it on. Something Florida State's been very successful with this year.
Comes Carson Pickett, the freshman, on again from Jacksonville to replace Price. She can return. Carson Pickett born without her left arm from the elbow down. Not a hindrance at all. She played in the first half, back out there to contribute here in the second. Former Florida Prep Player of the Year. They like her left foot down that flank. Here is Pickett. 69th minute here for Florida State, down a tally. Short, nice move to the end line, or cross, and a corner coming up. And again, an opportunity for some air superiority here for the Seminoles. Let's see where Grubka and Brynja's daughter show themselves. Looking for Grubka. Cleared out of there again by that back line. Right in at McNulty. Handles that one near post. Under 20 minutes to go on a night where the Penn State Nittany Lions, their five-time national champion women's volleyball team, the #1 seed in the NCAA tournament that's just underway. They were victorious in their first-round matchup tonight. And here in San Diego, the soccer team trying to play for a national championship for the first time in school history. Maya Hayes, the goal in the 57th minute, the difference right now.
And with less than 20, this is where Florida State's got to change the urgency. You're seeing Penn State having time on the ball, holding it. And right now you're seeing what looks like to me a fatigued Florida State side. They got to step it up. You got 20 minutes to create something here.
Well, let's check out the handiwork here of Penn State offensively and Maya Hayes.
And that's Weber feeding it across, and Hayes opportunistic, which goal scorers are the best, have this wonderful sense to know where to be. Makes her run to the near post. Weiss unable to hold the ball. And there she is to make it look easy. But again, how many players would go to that back post or hold up? I mean, it's such instincts. She was right there.
Junior out of West Orange, New Jersey, said last year we were all at home in State College watching the College Cup, hoping that we would have the chance to be there this year. And right now, she stands to have the game winner. Let's see if McCarty and the Seminoles can do something about it. Knocked out in the semis last year by Stanford, back again for another crack at it. Florida State building. McCarty trying to settle it to the top of the box. Now Jurina. Fields working on Hurd. Fields to the touch. McNulty there.
Again, we keep calling Fields his name. She's working that right flank, expending a lot of energy. I'm just not seeing it everywhere else on the field for Florida State.
Sophomore out of Alta Loma, California, working hard tonight.
You know, I think part of it too, Beth, is Florida State's not accustomed to chasing. You know, when you don't have the ball, chasing is exhausting. It's frustrating, it's exhausting, so that combination is just fatiguing.
They like to have the ball at their feet. That has not been the case for much of this night. And what can they muster late here? 16 and a half to go as the clock continues to wind down closer to the 0 hour. Maddie Evans, the senior out of Glenside, PA, with that captain's armband on. Hayes taken away by Florida State. Penn State head coach Erica Walsh 15 minutes away and counting. Former assistant coach for FSU, Coach Mark Krikorian, was here as an assistant on the Florida State bench in 2007. Went on to coach in the Ivy League and then arrived in State College and has helped Penn State get back to the top. Rodriguez with the takeaway. Costa. And whistled for the push-off. There's a look at Erica Walsh in her 6th year. She's born out of the same philosophy as Mark Krikorian. No one in the game I look to more than Mark, she told us yesterday. And a lot of times, Julie, you hear coaches say they don't like to play former assistants or friends of theirs. But both she and Mark said we're thrilled to be here and playing against each other. That means our teams have been awfully good this year.
And I think what makes Mark Krikorian such a strong coach, and both of them, is there's tremendous respect. Everyone you talk to that talks about Mark, talks about Erica, they value that. They want to mentor people. They want to help. They want to teach.
Brynja's daughter strikes and just misses wide. McCarty arguing that McNulty got a fingertip on it and it should be a corner kick, but Ian Anderson says no, it's a goal kick. Hurd coming out for Penn State, Schramm back on.
And again, you're under 15 minutes now, almost to the 10-minute mark. Florida State has to do a better job of changing their tactics, sending more players, creating more opportunities in their box.
Hayes. Grubka able to clean it up again. Here comes Jessica Price back on, as well as Mallory Weber. We'll take a moment to remind you the NCAA Women's College Cup continues with the National Championship match Sunday at 4 Eastern on ESPNU. For more coverage and info, visit ncaa.com, your home for all 89 NCAA championships. Maya Hayes with a goal in the 57th minute, standing right now as the game winner.
And it looks like with the Price substitution, number 6 for Florida State coming back on, she stepped into the midfield. And she's also, it looks like, sending Schmidt forward. So they may be switching to a more direct 4-3-3 rather than the 4-5-1. Price, McCarty up top.
Let's check in right now. Kat Whitehill down close to that Penn State bench, and some advice from Erica Walsh. Kat?
Yeah, well, they were talking how they started in a 3-5-2. Well, now they're going much more conservative. They want to go into that 4-back. Erica Walsh told number 7, Corey Person, I want you to play more right back than I want you to play right mid. And right now, ever since she said that, Corey Person has been all right back the whole time. So making sure that she doesn't do anything to take any risk at this point.
Corey just turned it over, number 7 in blue, and now Florida State will look to build. McCarty in the middle, Price down the left wing, and here comes Casey Short. Dropping it off. Jarina. Fields. Off the bounce in front, headed out. Settled by Maddie Evans. McCarty cuts it back in, goes to the left, save. McNulty, second chance. And the one-timer misses wide by Jurina.
What another really good save, because this is totally reactionary. Tight, quick reaction time. McNulty and Fields again. Cutting, dangerous. McNulty gets a hand on that. She's not going to be able to hold it, of course.
The senior from Winnipeg up in Canada was huge in their third-round win over Michigan, a victory in PKs when the Wolverines went up 2-0 in penalty kicks, and then McNulty saved 3 in a row, and the Nittany Lion kickers made 3 straight to win it.
Saved their playoff dreams.
Raquel Rodriguez on her feet. 80th minute in the national semis. And Penn State now close to 10 minutes away from their first trip to the national championship game.
And number 7 for Penn State, Pearson, now firmly planted. As Kat mentioned before, firmly planted on that back line, because now you're going to see Florida State in these final 10. They're going to send some numbers. They're going to take their chances. So they're going to go into that 4-4-2 system to try and hold on to this 1-0 lead.
Rodriguez to the sideline. Brie Garcia, the fifth-year senior, comes on. Florida State looking for the equalizer. Short. And another example of how the rain puts a little extra skid on that ball. And it's been pretty steady here in the second half tonight. McCarty trying to go to work on Church to the left foot. Short with a run into the area. Schmid. Back to Murakami, and now to the feet of Schmid. More possession here for Florida State. Fields trying to make something happen. Right into the belly of Erin McNulty. Florida State cruised through the first 3 quarters of the regular season, hit a couple of speed bumps late in the year, lost 3 games late in the regular season, but then were able to get it back together for the NCAA tournament and the push into the semis. Stonewalled thus far tonight by Penn State. If they can find number 14 in white, McCarty, one of the most dangerous goal scorers in the country, and running on and right in front, McNulty's got it.
And that is a hard one to hold on to. It's bouncing, it's coming off that ground. You don't know how it's going to skip. I am surprised she was able to hold on to that. It's short. getting involved. There's McNulty, because there are Florida State players. And McCarty ready to pounce.
That was a terrific ball there from Short. The former Florida State goalkeeper now between the pipes for Penn State. Has helped the Nittany Lions hang on to this 1-0 lead. The pressure mounting here from the Florida State attack. Daughter out to Fields. Fields, terrific cut. The pass in front, cleared out of the 6. Daughter backtracks. Price. McCarty immediately double teamed. Under 7.5 to go.
Penn State having a heck of a time containing Fields on that right side. And as we get to those last 7, it's just you gutting it out. They are exhausted, especially playing in that 3-back.
The corner kick in the 84th minute now. And a handball whistle. The handball by Fields.
But there's a perfect example of if you can just start cranking them from outside. There's so many bodies behind the ball, in the box, in front of McNulty. Those deflections are going to happen. You got to give up on the pretty ball and start launching them in there and hoping, even driving them in from outside the box. Hoping you get a deflection, a skip, get numbers in there.
Throw in for Florida State. 85th minute in the national semis. Taken away. And guess who again? It's Mallory Weber. Short backtracks to get it. Fields cleared out of the area again. I think that was Maddie Evans that time. Jarina stays on her feet. Jarina through a lot of traffic, pulls the trigger. Corner kick, Florida State. Nice run by Enos. 6th corner coming up on the night.
Shows you the talent of the backs. Their greatest offense, 2 of their greatest offensive possessions are coming from their outside backs, Short and Jarina.
Daughter got a head on it. Could not put it on frame. The one-timer from Short. Blocked in front. Kelsey Weiss making the run back to goal. She was up across midfield for that corner kick. It's all hands on deck here with under 4.5 to go in the 86th minute in the national semis.
And this is where when Penn State has the opportunity in these closing moments, you work on this all the time as a team. How do you hold the ball to close out those final minutes? Right now, their playmakers have to get a hold of that ball. Get it into the corners. You don't stop it in the corners, but patiently hold on to it.
They've gone from a 3-back to a 4-back to Julie. Right now, it's a 6 or 7-back for this Penn State defense. Nairn is starting to sag now into the defensive third.
And you get into this mindset that it's almost this desperation, so you just start woofing the ball forward, and then you just hurt yourself some more because you're not holding it. You need to grab that ball back. Right now, Florida State getting every loose ball.
3.5 to go for one of the Seminoles to make a play. Murakami able to send it back in. Jurina. Broken up by Chapik. '88th minute. A long throw from Price. Handled by Penn State. And there's Weiss, the goalie, back to get it. She's all the way out at midfield. Launches that one back in. A loss in the semifinals in 1999, again in 02. The heartbreak in 05, losing in PKs to Portland. And tonight, Penn State back to the College Cup for the first time since, clinging to the 1-0 lead. And into the hands of their senior keeper, Aaron McNulty, who will waste a little time here. Under 2 minutes to go in the 89th minute. College soccer, the clock winds down to 0. No stoppage time added. Penn State will send that one into the crowd. There was a head-to-head collision on that last 50-50 ball.
I love that Erica in the rain just took her rain jacket off and sporting the short sleeve. She's like, this is summertime at Penn State.
It's a beautiful day in State College.
She did say she had 6 players who wanted to transfer when they arrived in San Diego.
McCarty trying to turn to find some room. Now it's Fields trying to get around Chapik. Jurina to the end line. The cross off the bounce. 90th minute. In front, McCarty with the header to tie it up. In the 90th minute, the equalizer for the Seminole All-American.
This all starts with this clearance, and Maya Hayes cannot hold on to the ball. She needs to fight for that ball, hold it, and you see Grubka here. She's just battling through, wanting the ball, and it's these little things. It's amazing. It's a toe poke here and a toe poke there. She wins that, able to get it across, and as she won it, I was thinking to myself, those are the difference makers. Look at her fight for that ball. What a great ball into McCarty, who is so opportunistic to begin with. And really, it's a situation that shouldn't even happen, right? If you hold on to it in the beginning.
What a play by Kristen Grubka, taking on Hayes, and then 2 Penn State players to get the assist of the McCarty goal and the equalizer in the 90th minute. And the semifinals are headed to golden goal overtime.
And
what a clutch moment.
And what an absolute heartbreaker that is, though, emotionally for you. I mean, I'm looking at that Penn State team right now, and those just rip the heart out of you because the dying moments.
Yep.
You think, oh, if we could have just gotten a toe on that, if I could have cleared that. I mean, the little things that make a difference.
They were 40 seconds away from playing in the national championship, denied by the Seminoles. Golden goal is coming up next.
The NCAA Women's College Cup is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA's consent is...
Feeling buried by all the piles of paper in your home or office? Maybe it's time you traded in the old filing cabinet for a new office assistant. Meet the Neat Desk Scanner and Organizer, the only scanner that actually thinks while it scans. With Neat Desk, all your important documents can be easily scanned and then organized with the NeatWorks software. So that shoebox full of receipts instantly becomes a manageable expense report. That stack of business cards can go directly into your computer's contact list. Virtually any piece of paper automatically becomes a searchable document that you can find with a simple keyword.
And here's the best part. If you call or visit us at tryneat.com right now, you can try the Neat Desk or the amazing Neat Portable Scanner for 30 days absolutely free. We'll even pay for the return postage if you decide to send it back. That's how confident we are that you'll love your Neat Organizer. So give us a call or go to tryneat.com for your 30-day free trial and say goodbye to all that paper.
You're watching ESPN News coverage of the 2012 NCAA Women's College Cup presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They've already been in overtime once in this postseason, both for Penn State and Florida State, and they are back there again. Golden goal for a chance to play for the national championship on Sunday. We will play 2 10-minute overtime periods. If there is not a goal, we will move on to PKs, but one strike here wins it. And let's check out the goals in regulation.
Maya Hayes making that run to the near post. Weber playing it across, and she finishes it nicely. And then in the dying moments of the game, 40 seconds left, Penn State desperately trying to hold on, and Florida State just sending numbers. You see what can happen when you're just fighting for balls, flying in the pucks. And Grubka, the perfect example for this. She fights through, not the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but look at her fight, and what a ball that is. And what a finish by Tiffany McCarty, her 17th on the season, her 10th in this postseason alone.
And now, with all the momentum on the Florida State side, and Julie, a Penn State shape that was so different for the last 20 minutes or so of that second half is going to have to reconfigure again.
They're going to have to reconfigure, but you want them to play aggressive like that, because so much of that game, Florida State was on their heels, and Penn State in that dying moment, they just couldn't hold on to the ball. They lost their possession. They went into a bunker possibly a little bit too early, weren't holding on to it, weren't killing off the game. And when you get into that situation, you've just got so many players coming at you.
Kat Whitehill, what are you hearing down on the field?
Well, it was two kind of different huddles. Penn State was like, stay positive. We've done this a million times. You know, when you have 1 minute left in the game and you almost had that victory, they're trying to cheer their team up, while Florida State coach Mark Krikorian was saying they had their chance to win the game, now it's ours. Just be prepared for the counterattack. So two somewhat different huddles there, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the overtime.
Neither side has lost in OT this year. Winner will face either Stanford or North Carolina on Sunday. That's our second semifinal coming up, but we've got bonus soccer for you here in Golden Goal OT.
Yeah, what I do like is that right away, Maddie Evans, number 18 for Penn State, she grabbed, as you see her in the middle of that huddle, she grabbed the team together, and you could see her talking with passion, saying, we're fine, we're fine. I mean, that is great leadership, because it's gut-wrenching giving up a goal that late.
McCarty, the game-tying goal in that 90th minute, number 14 in the white jersey for Florida State. And just a terrific hustle play by Kristen Grubka. Hayes, who had the goal in regulation for Penn State. Sent in by Evans, and redirected, and Penn State wins it in overtime. And for the first time in history, the Nittany Lions will play for the national championship. How fitting for the Nittany Lions that it is off the boot of their senior Christine Nairn. And the golden goal.
And you're going to see Nairn making that explosive run out of midfield. She finds Maya Hayes wide. And then I actually thought she should have holded her run and gotten in a seam deeper. But instead, she makes a near post run, doubles up, and there she is standing there on that near post, ready and waiting. And they had sent two people to the near post, so Maya Hayes had no seam to find someone back. She tries to lay it off. No one's there, but it ends up to be a fortuitous circumstance, because look at her just standing there and redirecting it in. She doesn't try and hammer it. She just tries to get it on frame. Nice finish by Nairn in the closing. Wow.
We both kind of looked at each other and said, oh, that ball's a little bit off the mark. Maddie Evans looked like she was late arriving to the party. But what a ball that she played in front to Christine Nairn. And the golden goal to win it in the 92nd minute. And they will play for the first national championship in school history on Sunday. How about that for a quick rebound after giving up the equalizer in the 90th? A minute and 2 seconds into overtime, they win it. The cross knocked down. She'll try again. A good one, Noyola! Back post for the goal! After 3 years of tears, the Cardinals finally have their national championship. The College Cup is washed up on the shores of Southern California. It's Championship Sunday in San Diego after a memorable Friday night of semifinals. Sent in by Evans, and Penn State wins it in overtime. And for the first time in history, the Nittany Lions will play for the national championship. With a goal with 4 minutes left in overtime, a chance here, and it's over. The golden goal in the 105th minute. The Tar Heels and the Nittany Lions set to go for a national championship. Welcome to ESPN News coverage of the 2012 NCAA Women's College Cup presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. The North Carolina Tar Heels seeking a 21st NCAA championship. Penn State trying to get the first in school history. It's all a part of Jimmy V Week for Cancer Research on ESPN as we continue our commitment to the V Foundation and Jim Valvano's dream to defeat cancer.
Use the TV mode to control your television set. With the DirecTV mode selected, these DirecTV and TV power buttons turn both your TV and receiver on and off together. This other power button switches on or off whatever single device is selected by the mode switch. If you have a DirecTV DVR, these buttons pause live TV, record a program, and rewind or fast forward recorded shows. You can learn all about your DVR and these controls at directv.com/DVR. Next, the navigation buttons access various on-screen menus and the program guide. Navigate your way through any menu with the arrow keys and press Select to choose your program or option. Back returns you to the previous menu screen. Pressing Exit takes you out of the playlist, menu, or program guide and back to live TV. Pressing Info brings up the name and a description of the program you're watching. And finally, here at the bottom is the keypad. Use the numbers to type in a channel number directly. The DirecTV remote does way more than just change channels and adjust the volume. It gives you total control over your DirecTV system. Menu activates your DirecTV home screen. Here you can browse programs based on your viewing habits, search for new shows by title, actor, or keyword, manage recordings, control different system settings, and more. At the bottom of the remote is the keypad. Use the numbers to type in a channel number directly. The 4 colored buttons are special shortcut keys, and their function depends on what you're tuned to. For example, if you're watching live TV, click the yellow button for the channel banner with Options tabs. Read important messages from DirecTV, get program info, tune to previously viewed and favorite channels, turn closed captioning on and off, even adjust audio-video settings, and set parental controls. In many cases, the function of each colored button appears on screen, usually in the lower left. In the program guide, for example, the green and red buttons jump forward or backwards 12 hours in time, so you can look ahead for future programs. Now that you have an HD receiver, you can enjoy all the HD movies, HD shows, and HD sports DirecTV offers every day. Well done. To make sure you get the most out of your HD experience, do these simple things. First, check that you have an HD-compatible TV. Then, connect your HD TV and your DirecTV receiver with an HDMI cable. Next, check to see that you are subscribed to DirecTV HD service. You can do this online at directv.com/myaccount. Look for the My Services tab and then click on HD. Finally, make sure you're selecting HD shows and movies whenever possible. To find HD programming, look for channels marked HD in the program guide. Since DirecTV offers over 170 full-time HD channels and the most sports in HD, this is the easy part. DirecTV also offers the ultimate HD movie experience. Tune to DirecTV Cinema on channel 1100. DirecTV Cinema titles are marked with an HD or HD 1080p logo. 1080p HD is the same stunning format as Blu-ray DVDs. Now that you've got the best picture, get the best sound. DirecTV offers Dolby Digital 5.1 surround sound on many HD programs. To get it, your TV needs to be Dolby Digital compatible. To set your DirecTV receiver to produce Dolby Digital 5.1 sound, click Menu on your remote. Select Settings and Help, and then select Settings. Select Audio, and then Dolby Digital. Follow the on-screen prompts for Dolby Digital, and you'll enjoy theatrical surround sound right at home. The program guide lets you see all of the programming available from DirecTV for the next 2 weeks. Just click Guide to check it out. Move around the guide using the arrow keys. Scroll up and down for different channel listings. Scroll right to see what's coming up next, and scroll left for a channel description. The channel button moves up or down an entire page of the guide. You can jump forward 12 hours with the green button and jump back 12 hours with the red button. When you find a show you like, press Select to instantly tune in. You'll see a banner at the top of the screen with info about the show you're watching. You can see these details anytime by pressing the Info button. When you're looking at the guide, press the yellow button to bring up the guide options. These options limit the contents of the guide and help you focus in on the stuff you're into. For example, you can search for a particular type of show, pick a specific date and time, or view the guide with only your favorite channels showing. It's easy to customize the program guide so you only see the programs you want now. Press the yellow button for guide options. These options reduce the contents of the guide and help you focus in on the stuff you like. For example, you can search for a particular kind of show, pick a specific date and time, or you can view the guide with only your favorite channels showing. As an example, we've already set up one favorites list for you called Channels I Get. It only displays the channels in your particular base package.
I went a little overboard. Got that, perfect. No taking a little peeker. Yay! Whoa.
At Petco, we'll help you find the perfect gifts this holiday season.
Someone has an amazing mom and dad.
Because we're just as crazy about pets as you are.
Dad, I forgot your dad.
Honey? And go even more crazy with 5% back with Pals Rewards, only at Petco.
Honey, I love the holidays.
And with my Bank AmeriCard Cash Rewards credit card, I love them even more.
I earn 1% cash back everywhere, every time.
2% on groceries.
3% on gas, automatically.
No hoops to jump through.
That's 1% back on
2% on pumpkin pie.
and Apple.
3% back on 4 trips to the airport.
It's as easy as 1,
2,
3.
The Bank AmeriCard Cash Rewards card. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
Show your shining, waiting to put your arms around me.
Discover the tempting layers of Ferrero Rocher. A whole hazelnut, smooth, chocolatey cream inside a wafer shell.
And it was her 4-layer cheesecake that stopped people and me in their tracks.
Did you bring the cheesecake? It wasn't about the music, it was about what did she bring today.
When Janine decided to cut an album with no label deal, she had an idea. She could sell her cheesecake to raise money.
Baking funded my CD. Wherever I went, I had a bag of slices of cake. I brought 3 whole cakes in and we raffled them off.
Now, you know I had to head to Queens to get a taste of the cheesecake that helped fund a dream. And this is the first time Janine has ever shared the recipe.
You're ready to cook then. This
We're
looks
ready
like
to
you're
go.
ready to cook. All right, what do we do?
The first layer is kind of like a homemade chocolate cake, which starts by creaming butter and a cup of sugar.
Salted or unsalted?
This is salted. That's one thing I always use salted butter. I like salt.
Everyone's got their favorites. Plus, it's good when you're doing sweet food to have a little bit of salt. Yeah, this is the dry mashed potato looking stage.
She adds her favorite vanilla.
I have a Mexican vanilla.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, the vanilla there is really tasty and a little stronger than
I agree.
American. Teaspoon of vanilla.
Ooh, yeah, that's dark.
3 eggs. Would you like to crack an egg?
Yeah, girl, I thought you know it. Yeah. Little brown egg. Look at that, look at that.
All right.
Can I play with this? I just
Sure.
love, I love that sound. I do, I love it. You know what else I like? I know it sounds silly, but I like the patterns that it makes.
Yeah.
And of course, the chocolate and flour.
Unsweetened cocoa.
Unsweetened cocoa.
Yep, not just for hot chocolate.
1/3 of a cup of cocoa.
Okay.
It's gonna make the cake nice and chocolatey.
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
And 1/2 cup of flour.
Okay.
Do you want to mix that up? I know how you love mixing.
Girl. Seriously. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this, so I don't have
Good
that.
idea. The puff.
Look at that.
All right, that's perfect.
Goodness. This is layer number 1.
Layer number 1.
That's it?
That's it.
No mas?
No mas.
Okay, let's do this.
All right.
She let me spread the batter into her parchment-lined springform pan.
Look at
Beautiful.
that. Yes. Am I doing this right,
You're
boss?
doing great, yeah. You just want an even layer over the bottom.
Look at that.
Looks perfect.
This recipe made your CD, girl. Can you believe it? Food gives you your dreams. Well, I can believe it.
Yes.
And now it's time for 2 out of 4, the second layer of the cheesecake, which starts with cream cheese.
We're gonna use a half a cup of ricotta cheese.
I get excited when there's sweets in my future.
Yeah,
I really do.
I do too.
I'm excited. It feels like kids, you know?
And then we put in 3/4 of a cup of sugar.
I love how you memorize your recipe.
It's from making it so many times.
Yeah?
Be careful, because that's another.
No. Oh, now you tell me, huh? Gotta get it smooth. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, is this the recipe?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a recent printout, so it's not as stained as
This
most
is a
cakes.
recent printout. It's still got a little chocolate stain.
Speaking of chocolate, it's go time.
This is the fun part. You put in 1 ounce of unsweetened chocolate, and my favorite recent discovery is a pre-melted. Do you want to pour that in there?
You know it, girl.
Oh, you're so artistic.
Look at that. This stuff just makes you feel like a kid, man.
We're gonna crack 2 eggs in here.
One final spin with the hand mixer, and this chocolatey cream cheese is spread onto the first layer.
Look at the color difference, too. So you can
Yeah.
really tell the layers. When it bakes out, are the colors different in slice, right?
The bottom is much darker than the cheesecake layer, yeah.
It's important. If you're gonna have a layer, you know, it's also nice to look at. This is just heaven.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm learning some new techniques from you. Nice. High five.
The first 2 layers bake in a 350 oven for 25 minutes, and halfway through, Janine covers it to prevent cracking.
All right, we'll go play some parcheesi.
I love parcheesi.
As the cheesecake baked off, I couldn't help thinking about how Janine's passion for baking and love of music combined to create her dream.
I had a goal of 4,000. I was in the kitchen nonstop making cheesecake.
This is so cool. A cheesecake recipe funds your dreams.
Coming up, the cheesecake gets 2 more layers.
You'd have no idea how simple this is.
And find out how much green this chocolate made her.
Are you kidding me?
Do you need help dialing up your everyday meals? Go to hiddenvalley.com for recipes and tips that bring new flavors to the table and keep mealtime exciting.
Balsamic vinegar and oil, authentic Italian herbs. Just a few of the ingredients you'll find in Hidden Valley's Italians and Vinaigrettes. You know Hidden Valley for our ranch, but you've never tasted anything like this.
How does it feel to save on the things you want at RetailMeNot.com? RetailMeNot delivers thousands of deals from your favorite online stores. Go to RetailMeNot.com and score the savings you want.
Proud to stand on our own. Proud to be homegrown. A familiar face and a name you know. Can you hear it? Fueling the American spirit. No matter when, no matter where, Marathon will take you there. Fueling the American spirit.
I'm Mom at the playground and the dog park. The kids get trail mix, and you get a delicious Milo's Kitchen chicken meatball. They're 100% real. I wish you liked my cooking that much.
The best treats come from the kitchen. Milo's Kitchen home-style dog treats.
Begin. Tomato, obviously. There's more than that, though. There's a kick to it. Smooth, but crisp. It's kind of like drinking a food that's a drink, or a drink that's a food. Woo!
Tasted and described the indescribable. Could have had a V8.
Right here at table 19, a secret crush turned out to be a mutual attraction. The Westgate cousins went old school to decide who pays the check. A local book club raved about the cliffhangers in the new crime novel. And some BFFs from college joked about looking up old flames on Facebook. All over delicious entrees like new Santa Cruz steak from our $20 dinner for you. Chili's, more life happens here.
I always wait until the last minute. Can I still ship a gift in time for Christmas?
Yeah, sure you can. Where's your gift?
Break from the holiday stress. Ship FedEx Express by December 22nd for Christmas delivery.
We're bringing you sweet gift ideas,
That is so good.
fresh holiday brunch plans. I shouldn't eat this, but and easy holiday recipes at foodnetwork.com/holiday.
This is the best part of Cookie Party.
Sweet holiday weekend. This weekend starting at 7.
Passionate cook and singer Janine Tirana of Queens, New York, brings her decadent 4-layer cheesecake to all of her shows. And when fans couldn't get enough, she got smart and sold them to raise money to record her first album.
That is amazing. I'm gonna have another bite.
I had a goal of 4,000 and I exceeded the goal. I raised about 4,500.
Wow. How long did that take?
It took 3 months.
Are you kidding me? With the $4,500 she raised, Janine headed into the studio to record. And in 2011, she released her album.
So your cheesecake bought studio time?
Studio time. It turned out to be just about exactly what I needed to make the album.
This is great.
Right now, the cheesecake is singing. The first 2 layers come out of the oven to chill for a few hours. Then, Janine starts on the 3rd layer. It's a vanilla cream cheese mousse, which starts by whipping another block of cream cheese with a ½ cup of sugar and 2 teaspoons of her vanilla. No mixer needed. For the next step, I put my muscles to work.
This is my favorite thing in the whole world.
You're such a measurer. This is great. Ready?
Ready.
Now, watch me. You want to time me? Put sugar in when I get those soft peaks.
Okay.
Oh, don't spill. See how it's already getting a little bit nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can use Cool Whip if you want, but I prefer the homemade stuff.
Right about now is when I add the sugar.
Okay.
All right. That's it?
Yep.
All right.
That looks good.
Yeah?
Yep, that looks perfect. High five.
This gets folded into the cream cheese.
So good fold is scrape down to bottom. Turn bowl. Scrape, turn. She's doing that. That's what she's doing.
Go, Janine. Now the mousse gets spread on top of the chilled cake.
Nice. Okay. And when I'm doing this, I like to keep it away from the sides. So when you unroll it, you want to keep that top layer. That looks like a white fluffy cloud.
It does.
You are really good at that.
I really just love it. I love doing this. This is, you know.
That's it.
That's it.
That's layer number 3.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
You can do this. You can do this.
It goes back into the freezer for 30 minutes, then it's time for the final layer, the chocolate ganache.
What more do I have to say? Ganache over any cake is really, that's all you really need.
And it covers up cracks.
It sure does. It covers up everything.
Ganache is amazing.
Yeah, and it tastes so good.
You could do this. Just bring 1 cup of heavy cream and 2 tablespoons of butter to a boil and stir it into 1½ cups of dark chocolate chips. Melted and smooth, it's ready to be poured over the cheesecake.
Ready?
Oh, lovely.
So we've got chocolate cakey layer, then we've got the moussey layer, and then we've got the cream cheese whipped creamy layer.
I like to pour it in the middle and then watch it drizzle down. So we just let that drizzle a little bit, smooth it to the sides. You don't want to smooth too much because then that bottom layer is going to come through.
Okay. This is luscious. This is so shiny. That's what the butter does.
Yes.
You could actually see your face in it if you looked hard.
Definitely.
Good stuff here, girl.
Janine finishes with style. She pipes 2 circles of white chocolate ganache on top.
Looks so classy when you do it. You'd have no idea how simple this is.
Would you like to
2 circles. You could do this.
Then with skewers creates a design.
Here we go. So we're just dragging a swirl like that. All right.
Can I put a heart in the center?
Oh, sure.
I can?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Oh. How lovely. Oh, that's beautiful.
See, it's a little heart.
Gorgeous.
And it's time to taste. You gonna make a big old slice for me too, girl. I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Look at that. Look at that. Girl, don't cover up the goodness. Look at that. Just slide it off, huh? Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. Girl.
That's what it's all about.
Oh, man. You know what's so good? Everything.
Dreams realized Janine is still bringing her fans cheesecake and is so passionate about her baking and singing, there's no future without both.
The sun will shine. Let it shine. Let it shine on me.
I'd like to sing for the world and feed the world at the same time. I think that would be really awesome.
Next, I get to hang out with men in uniform. For a lasagna big enough